This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacey Van Dyke.
And I'm Justin Betty. The Fargo Police Department's policy manual discourages officers from shooting at moving vehicles, calling it rarely effective, and saying officers should only shoot at moving vehicles when the officer believes there are no other reasonable means to avert imminent threat.
But the scene played out this morning. A 28-year-old Native American man from Jamestown is dead after being shot by an officer in South Fargo. Another man is in custody, and police are still looking for a third, who they say ran from the scene.
It happened in the 1500 block of 34th Street South. Officers say there were 3 men in a stolen car, and they tried to drive off, nearly hitting officers. That's when one of those officers shot the driver. He later died. Police say his name will be released tomorrow.
A passenger in the car, 25-year-old Cody Dunn, was arrested for refusal to halt and possession of meth, and a second passenger ran away. The chief is calling it a traumatic day.
Well, it's unfortunate that an individual lost his life. This is a traumatic instance for our officers as well. None of them were injured.
It made me scared, but I'm glad the police are okay because he quite killed him. He was about to run the police over.
Police say the officer involved is an 11-year veteran of the force. His name will also be released tomorrow. He's on paid administrative leave during this investigation.
And you can see the man police are still looking for here. He is described as 5'9" or 5'10", medium build, last seen wearing a blue t-shirt and jeans. Police are receiving tips of who people think this man is and where he may be. If you have any information, you're asked to call police at 701-241-1405.
It's been 2 years since a deadly EF4 tornado struck Ottertail County July 8th, 2020. The tornado, with winds of 170 miles per hour, significantly damaged farm, homes, and shops between Dalton and Ashby, Minnesota. Officials confirmed 1 death at a home off County Road 82. 2 other people were taken to a hospital.
First Alert forecaster Summer Schnellbach joins us now to look at 2 First Alert weather days this weekend, starting tomorrow. Summer.
Thanks so much, Justin and Stacy. I remember that Dalton tornado day like it was yesterday, and thankfully have not seen anything like it since. And I'm not expecting any EF4 tornadoes this weekend, although we might have a couple of brief spin-ups with our First Alert weather days for a few rounds of strong to severe weather through Saturday and Sunday. So for our day tomorrow, some areas will be waking up to some showers and maybe some rumbles of thunder. I'm not expecting severe weather in the morning, but we will have a hot and humid afternoon with a few rounds of severe storms. Potential for some isolated strong to severe developing in the afternoon and into the evening, and then another round developing primarily overnight. Mostly the threat is in North Dakota for Saturday. Then by Sunday, after some morning storms from the late night storm Saturday, there's another risk of some strong and severe storms through the Central Valley and then into northwestern Minnesota. For Saturday, currently watching this area highlighted in yellow. That's a level 2 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center, where we could see isolated tornadoes, hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Hopefully you all enjoyed the day today. Temperatures were very comfortable and mild in the 70s and 80s, most in the 80s, and even tonight, beautiful sunset. Temperatures still in the 60s and 70s. So coming up, I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast of when and where to expect these several rounds of storms and what impacts may be associated as we head into Sunday.
Sounds good. Thanks, Summer.
As he says, that's Mark Lindquist, the Moorhead veteran who's been on the ground in Ukraine as they deal with the Russian invasion. Tonight, he's back home and putting on a big smile, trying to raise some money to help.
The Air Force and Afghanistan war veteran has spent months on the ground overseas this year, but now that he's back home, he's singing on stage as well as answering questions about the war. Valley News Team's Alex Larson gives us a look inside.
For the last 100 days, and we'll be there for the next, I don't know, 270. Don't tell Mom, who's sitting right over here, but I probably won't be home till next April. collecting tourniquets, right? Because if you get your arm blown off or your leg blown off, you only got about 3 minutes before you bleed out. You know what they're doing out there in Severodonetsk? For want of a 3-cent piece of gauze, they're packing a guy's wound with dirt and mud. Now, how are we getting it over there? We're raising money for $4,500 shipping containers. And everybody in Ukraine has been looking and figuring out how to get the stuff.
We have the link to donate right on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on the story.
Moorhead police have now identified the body that was found in the Red River on Wednesday. They say 35-year-old Emmanuel Chia was last seen by a group of kids, or his body was. It was recovered by police. The medical examiner did not find any evidence of significant trauma, though the final autopsy report is yet to be completed. New tonight, a few train cars derailed in Clay County, north of Highway 10, south of Hitterdall. The rest of that train, as you see from our video, has now continued on. The Clay County Sheriff says no one was hurt, and they don't believe the train was going too fast. It simply slid off the track.
Today, President Biden announced new actions designed to protect access to abortion. It follows the recent Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade and allowing states to decide whether abortion should be legal. The president said the Supreme Court's decision was one based on raw political power, not the health of women or the Constitution. At the signing, he reminded Americans the only way to make abortion legal nationwide would be if Congress codifies it, which means he needs more votes.
The executive order strengthens coordination at a federal level. It establishes a task force led by the White House Department and the Department of Human Services, focused specifically on using every federal tool available to protect access to reproductive health care.
House Democrats will consider votes on abortion rights measures next week when the chamber comes back from recess. Meanwhile, ACLU North Dakota has organized a statewide day of protest tomorrow in the battle for abortion access. Fargo's will be at 6 p.m. at City Hall. We'll bring you live coverage right here on Valley News Live.
Now to a story that came in through our whistleblower hotline. Swimmer's itch is a problem that's plagued lakes for generations, but some in Ottertail County are saying this year they're seeing it very soon and very strong.
As Valley News team's Darren Walling found out, it may not get better anytime soon.
We had someone reach out to us about the growing issue of swimmer's itch out at Ottertail Lake. And she says that this is the worst she's ever seen since coming here since the late 70s.
This year it started early June, like June 7th, and that's chilly. The water is typically too cold for it.
According to Walter, swimmer's itch for her starts to become a problem in late July. But this time it's different. I asked a store clerk who says she has seen at least 10 people a day coming into her store to ask for swimmer's itch treatment options. Here is what the Mayo Clinic says you should do if you get it. Apply a cream or medication. Don't scratch. Cover affected areas with a clean, wet washcloth. Soak in a bath sprinkled with Epsom salts, baking soda, or oatmeal. And make a paste of baking soda and water, then apply it to the affected areas. An Ottertail County public health representative said to me that no one treats the lakes for swimmer's itch, saying that one should shower and use a towel after going to the lake. For lake goers like Walters, they just want answers to what has changed this year.
Is there something different? Is it affected by the zebra mussels? Is it affected by climate? Is it affected by all the rain we've had this year? What is making this year different than other years?
Also spoke with a store clerk who says a lot of people have told her that they've gotten swimmer's itch. Reporting in Ottertail Lake, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
For more information on swimmer's itch, visit valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
And if you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. It's the number there on your screen, 701-369-3187. Leave us your tip and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
Scammers are prowling Facebook Marketplace these days using cash transfer apps, things like Zelle, Venmo, or Cash App, to trick people out of money. They're buying items from sellers, claiming the payment didn't go through, then sending fake emails that appear to come from Zelle or Venmo to try to convince the seller to refund them. The Better Business Bureau has put out some defense tips for online sellers, saying to check email addresses carefully. Scammers often use emails that only vary from the real thing by a letter or two or some small detail. They also suggest calling corporate offices, a number you know, for money transfer apps to confirm information. Scammers often make up fake policies to trick customers. They say to report any scams to the app headquarters to get them kicked off and protect other users.